Hi, Maureen. Nice to see you.
Well, it's lovely to be here. Lovely to chat to you.
For anybody watching, the names are going to be confusing because I'm Maureen and you're Maureen. Yeah,
Mo,
the mighty Mo.
the mighty Mo, or Mo the most.
I like Mo the most. We'll keep that. Thanks for joining, Mo. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Maureen Grayson. I'm a London-based artist. I've been on the stage, I've been acting, I've been on television. I've done the London comedy circuit since about teen. That's some of the stuff that I was doing before Art Ladder. Also, I have known the name Parker Harris for a considerable number of years. It's always been a positive connection, but I never ever dreamt that one of the Parker Harris team would ever one day come onto me over Zoom and interview me. Do you know what that's like? That's like receiving the OBE, or even better. It's that important because I like to feel that I belong to something, and I definitely belong to this.
I don't know if we can take that much honor, but I receive your really warm feedback about how at Parker Harris, we're art consultants, we manage art exhibitions and art prizes. And so, based on our practice led day jobs, we also mentor artists, sharing our experience in the art world and our insights. And through this, we've built the Art Ladder, which is our ongoing mentoring program, which is a group program. And it's wonderful to have artists like you that make it not only a mentoring program, but a community of artists who want to reach the next level in their careers. So backtrack a bit. Did you work professionally as an actor and on the stage and on TV?
Yes, for quite a few years, but that goes back quite a few years. I don't want to give my age away, but quite a few years. I've even written for television at one time. Of course, this was before internet. There was nothing like that then.
So you've had clearly many different careers on stage, on TV. Have you painted your whole life?
Yes, I have painted since as far back as I can remember. Now, that goes back a few years. That goes back to at least the Tudor times or the medieval period. I've always painted, and I tell you why. I found myself in painting, in art, in drawing. I've always painted. I did caricatures in charcoal and stuff. I'm very much led by my own drive and my own passions and my own inspirations. It's all in there. I like to work on a basis that it just sort of flows. And it does. And that's another thing I like about the Art Ladder program. I get inspiration from many of the guests you have on there, from many of the people, of the other members who even write in chat. I look at something and I say, I wouldn't have thought of that. But we'll get on to your many guests in a minute, I dare say, because I've got quite a bit to say about some of those.
For context, the Art Ladder on the very basic level, on level one, has interviews with art professionals, so curators, collectors, gallery directors, critics. And then on level two, there's surgery sessions with our team where we go in depth into the more business side, maybe, of being an artist, the practicalities, the key steps you can take on a variety of topics. You were mentioning the different guests
Oh, yeah.
for the webinar.
The first guest I absolutely fell in love with was Matthew Flowers. Now, I had heard of the Flowers Gallery, but when you are but a humble artist who hasn't had the opportunity to exhibit as much as she'd have liked, or to be actually a gallery artist, to almost meet somebody like that who is right at the very top of his game. When he came on, I said to myself, my God, here is a gallery owner. He's a wonderful human being. He's here at my own level, and he was so lovely. You couldn't but love the man. And now I'm looking at the Flowers Gallery, flattering myself that one day I could get one of my small works into their small but beautiful exhibition. But I'll have to pluck up the courage of making my pitch in the right way, because Art Ladder teaches you how to go about approaching these things, and it isn't bam. Take it sort of professionally and gently, which I haven't done as yet. It's not the time. But yes, he was one of the first people who really made an impression on me. Do you want a few more?
Go for it.
I was a bit in awe of Mervyn, the collector. I didn't quite know what to make of Mervyn when he came on, because collectors is something that I didn't have then. I have them now. I have them now. I have them now. But yeah, Mervyn, the collector. I said to myself, why does he collect what he collects? He collects a variety of things. It was interesting to see somebody who was a collector and why they collected, where they collected. And there is one other person who's really made a terrific impression on me, and that was Tavish, the London art critic. There again is another instance where Art Ladder has really opened my eyes. Art critic. I have always visualized art critics as people out with a vendetta against all artists to just slam them. You couldn't but love him. He's so human and down to earth, and he's so appreciative. He's not aloof. So that has taught me, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. People aren't out to get you or to expose you as being an imposter. They're not. And that's just another thing I have learned, and I'm going to carry with me. You would be surprised what a confidence booster the Art Ladder program is as well. I would never at one time have just strutted down. It was a few months ago. I had been to that gallery down the road before. There was one of the directors sitting there. I said, hello. And I just came out with it. I just asked him there and then about the possibility of having an open studio in his gallery. He says, of course. I said, when? He said, I'll tell you something. We have got a little space, because I only wanted it for 24 hours, really. We've got a little space in October, and you're quite welcome to do it there. You can have an evening there. So I said, oh, great. And that evening turned out into a full exhibition because they had a cancellation. So I just kept all my stuff there, and the people came in, and guess what? I met my people because they were there. I was standing at my preview night. I was standing inside the gallery, and suddenly through the door came a little chihuahua. And then suddenly, sale. Where? What? Who? That's the gentleman there with the dog. He wants to buy one of your paintings. He only wanted to buy one of the big ones, didn't he? It was really flattering because they were from a construction firm in Hackney, and that picture is going to hang in their office, in their premises, which is very nice. And then I sold the other big one to an estate agent. That's hanging there now, actually. I pass it by every day. And then I sold another one to another architect. I'm beginning to get a message here that my people, they are not who I once thought they were. I had a completely different vision. I now am learning that they are possibly a bit younger than I am. Not much, just a bit younger. Most people are younger than I am. And they are either architects, surveyors, estate agents, or construction people. It's not that I don't pursue other people. You still get your time wasters and this, that, and the other, but everybody gets them. That's part of the business. You just take it on board. But it's given me a hell of a lot of confidence that I can achieve what once I thought I couldn't. I wouldn't have imagined anybody like that would have bought one of my paintings. I was once convinced, and this was another thing before Art Ladder, I was convinced that I couldn't sell my paintings. I once believed that there was no market for my work. There were no people for me because I haven't got a huge following. It's difficult because you have this belief in your mind, and if you have this belief in your mind, you tend to live by it, but not anymore. I am not in the bad position I thought I was in. I can do anything if I set my mind to it. Yeah, a confidence builder, definitely.
Through the art ladder, through the webinars, and seeing the gallery directors, hearing from them what they're looking for, that they might very well be accessible to you, is that what gave you the confidence to approach a gallery near you and that resulted in a show?
It is a matter of accessibility, which I've got from Art Ladder. It did teach me that what you thought was inaccessible is actually accessible. It has taught me to rethink my belief. That's a definite thing. And that people I thought were not accessible, they are. They are accessible. They're not sitting on a cloud somewhere looking down at me and saying, "Who the hell are you?" It's just the exact opposite of what I have always believed.
Tell me about finding people who love your work enough to purchase it and how you're nurturing that network.
Yeah, once upon a time, I would try and produce work specifically for this person that I thought is going to jump and buy it. Wrong, mistake. Believe in yourself. Do the work that you want to do. There's only one sort of work, and that is the work which is in there. It's within you, and it's got to be honest to yourself. I could not imagine anybody buying anything from me, and the works that I did sell were from me. They were very much about me. It was illustrating my love of classical music. I always used to paint classical music. I played the music and played the music and played the music, and over time I produced this work, which I loved it myself. I posted a few of the stages of the work in progress, and then I just put it out there. And I was so humbled that somebody wanted to buy it. I've learned that you can reach people if you are honest to yourself. And a lot of your guests on Art Ladder, you've had gallery owners, you've had curators who have said the very same thing about when they look for works from artists and the type of artists they look at. I don't believe for 1 second they'd go for anybody who wasn't being true unto themselves. That's just another tip. It's just something that's sort of gone into my head. It's settled there. So I live with that now happily.
Yeah, I love that. Being true to yourself and being consistent to the type of work that you want to make. And if anything, if the art ladder can empower artists to do that and follow their inner vision, but also, as you said, to have the confidence to find buyers or galleries, or if they don't want to sell their work and their work isn't commercial, then finding the right places and applying for the right public funding, for instance. There isn't just one journey. One thing that's interesting, Mo, is we've got people of all ages, but there's very much a contingent of people who write to us and who say, I had a previous career and I'm now in my 60s, or I'm now in my 70s, or even in my 80s. Is it too late for me? Do you want to speak to that? Did you ever feel like that?
I feel like that often. I say to myself, I'm not in the first burst of youth. But of course, we all worry, is it going to be too late? But I don't think so. It's never too late. It's never too late because there are always opportunities out there you might not realize. You're like, how can it be too late? Some people don't actually find themselves until middle age. I am finding so many middle-aged women on Art Ladder, on Instagram, and other platforms. They're in their sort of prime now. They are there now. So I don't think so, no. Oh, there's one thing that age does bring. It does bring experience of life. And that is far more important than, say, a student just leaving art school, imagining they're going to walk straight into God knows what. They come out of art school, and in reality, it's very difficult. They find themselves just out there in a very hostile wilderness. That's one thing they don't teach you in art college. They don't teach you about life out there afterwards. But it's all age, as I said, it does bring you experience. She carrying on like an old granny. But yeah, you can make yourself younger, you can think younger, and I suppose you are as old as you feel. If you feel like a budding, emerging young artist, go for it. Go for it. Nobody knows how old you are. People don't know how old I am. But they say, oh, what age are you, Mo? And I answer, I've been 28 for years, dear.
Exactly. Thank you so much for sharing that. If it's the words that one artist needs to hear today, then that's fine. Okay, Mo, I'm going to have to let you go in a minute. Would it be a rhetorical question to ask you if you'd recommend to other artists to join us on the Art Ladder?
Yes, I would. I can recommend Art Ladder, and I can tell you exactly why. Now, there are a lot of courses out there. There is a lot of mentoring from all sorts of people. Art Ladder is run by Parker Harris. That name in the industry is the most respected and well-known. You are getting, with Art Ladder, you get Parker Harris, you are getting the uppermost industry expert. I don't work for Parker Harris, I'm not on a commission, but believe me, they know what they're talking about. So you heard it from me, and if you heard it from me, then you can take that for gospel.
Well, thank you, Mo. That's very high praise. I'm not often speechless, but thank you. Okay, now it's the time to tell people where can they find you? So you've got a website, you've got an Instagram.
Yes, I have a website. Just look up Maureen Grayson Art or Maureen Grayson Artist. There isn't another Maureen Grayson, so that's the one. My Instagram account, my original account was hacked. It's still up there. They haven't taken it down. So you'll find the right one.
So you've got MaureenGraysonArtist.com is the website, and then the Instagram is Maureen Grayson Art.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Mo, for joining. What's coming up? So you had this solo show in a gallery.
I have a piece still hanging in the gallery. It was one of the pieces I made years ago, one of these very heavily and impasto textured pieces. It's hanging there as part of the rotating exhibition that occurs in between major solo shows. So that is there. At some time, I don't even think it's going to be next year, I'm going to have a solo exhibition at the Hampstead School of Art. And what am I doing at the moment? I'm in between ideas. I'm working on a new body of stuff. I've actually decided to go bigger. Getting a big piece in that little studio of mine is awful because you can't move in there. But it's fun.
Mo, what's the name of the gallery where you recently had your solo show?
The gallery, it's called Omni D, is OMNIDE. It's Omni D. They are an architect practice. They own the premises. They are downstairs, and the gallery space is at street level. The gallery is purely fine art. There's always an art exhibition there, always. At any time, the walls are never blank. It's a beautiful space. It's so striking. It's a fabulous environment and so beautifully lit. Lovely people there as well. They are so wonderful. the two proprietors, they are absolutely, and they're so encouraging. Nobody has to give me opportunities like that. They do.
What a great contact for you to have, and how amazing that therefore through this gallery your work is now in architects' practices, in offices, where not only the person who owns the art can see it, but also all the people going through. There's one last thing I wanted to explore is you mentioned getting into this gallery, finding the people who love your art, finding buyers for your art. Was that something that you had more difficulty with, the fact of selling your work, finding collectors? And is that something that's, relatively new?
I have found it extremely difficult. Haven't sold much over my website. I didn't think that I could ever find buyers, but you just listen and take in the sessions from Art Ladder, and you will find that it's nothing you are particularly doing wrong that you haven't got any buyers, or you haven't got a sort of a network out there. It could be that you are not looking in the right places, or that you don't realize that the resources are out there. It's a realization, and Art Ladder delivers that realization to you because they know, they are the experts. I am not. My next door neighbor isn't an expert, or the person down the road who thinks my work is fabulous. Oh, you should be in so-and-so gallery. Yes, me and a million others. Leave it to the experts. They will tell you what you're doing wrong.
Thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience with me and to share your feedback about the Art Ladder.
It has been an honor to be able to chat with you.
Mo, the pleasure's been all mine. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
taking the time. Bye, Mo.